Queen Boudicca was a true hero, powerful, courageous, and unyielding. She led a fierce revolt against the mighty Roman Empire, shaking the foundations of their rule in Britain. Though her rebellion ended in defeat, she remains a symbol of defiance and the Britons' fight for freedom. While much of her life is lost to history, the legend of Boudicca lives on. Let's take a step back in time and explore her world. Let us begin. Boudicca was queen of the Iceni, a Celtic tribe that lived in what is now Norfolk and Suffolk in eastern England. She was married to King Prasutagus, who ruled the Iceni as a nominally independent ally of Rome after the Roman conquest of Britain began in AD 43. Emperor Claudius launched the invasion of Britain, which led to many native tribes, including the Iceni, becoming client kingdoms of Rome. Some Celtic tribes resisted. Others, like the Iceni, tried to work with the Romans, often reluctant. When Prasutagus died, he left a will dividing his kingdom between his two daughters and the Roman Empire, hoping to protect his family and kingdom. However, the Romans ignored this arrangement. Instead, they seized his lands entirely, confiscated property, and enslaved members of the Iceni elite. The kingdom was brutally seized by the Romans. Tacitus reports that Roman troops violated Boudicca's daughters and publicly flogged her. This was a dehumanizing deed intended to show Rome's strength and expand its authority. This mistreatment served as a catalyst for Boudicca's historic rebellion. Boudicca, enraged by the Roman abuses, gathered an army and allied with other tribes discontented with Roman rule, notably the Trinovantes. The Romans had imposed heavy taxes and seized lands from native Britons, creating widespread resentment. Boudicca led her forces in a series of devastating attacks on Roman settlements. Camulodunum, Colchester, was the first city targeted, a Roman colony and symbol of Roman oppression. The Iceni razed the city to the ground, killing all the inhabitants, and even the Roman soldiers stationed there. Next, they marched on Londinium, the new commercial hub of Roman Britain. Suetonius Paulinus, the Roman governor, abandoned the city due to a lack of defenses. Boudicca's forces destroyed it, slaughtering anyone who remained. The rebels then attacked Verulamium, another Roman town, with similar devastation. In total, it is estimated that Boudicca's forces killed up to 70,000 to 80,000 Romans and Romanized Britons during these attacks. Verulamium was one of the last major settlements to fall before Boudicca's forces were ultimately defeated by the Romans at the Battle of Watling Street. Despite these early victories, Boudicca's army ultimately faced the Roman army under the command of Governor Gaius Suetonius Paulinus in a crucial battle that is commonly believed to have taken place close to Watling Street. The precise site is unknown, however, some speculate that it was close to present-day West Midlands. Due to Suetonius's numerical power, Boudicca's soldiers were unable to make effective use of their numbers because Suetonius had carefully placed his troops in a small trench or passage. Boudicca's initial advances were repulsed by the well-trained and highly armored Romans, who eventually encircled and destroyed her army. The forces of Boudicca were brutally defeated. Her troops lost thousands of their lives, but the Roman losses were minimal in comparison. After her defeat, Queen Boudicca either took poison to avoid capture or died shortly after due to illness. Both Tacitus and Dio provide slightly different accounts, but it's agreed that she did not live to see Roman retribution. Though her rebellion was crushed, Boudicca's revolt shook the Roman Empire, and it took time for the Romans to fully re-establish control in Britain. Boudicca's heroic legacy is one of resilience, defiance, and fierce love for her people. Though she may not have lived to see victory, her courage in the face of impossible odds has echoed through history. She stood for freedom, for dignity, and for the belief that no empire, no matter how powerful, could ever truly conquer the human spirit. Boudicca remains a symbol of resistance, not just for her time, but for anyone who has ever fought against oppression. Her story is not just history. It's a reminder that the fight for justice is timeless. Thank you for watching another episode of Historical Heroes. Until next time, let's keep these legends alive and celebrate the bold spirits who shaped our world.